Premier League Golf Show is back for another week, round 8 of action, and it was the first time we've seen golfers put through their, oh, it was a testing weekend, I should say. They put through their paces in some really wintry conditions, and without trying to give it away, Milne, there was a few teams that just, I was going to say melted under the pressure, but they actually froze.
Yeah, they did. Righto, thank you, and welcome again for this week's video. Yes, it was interesting. It really showed who had the intestinal fortitude to play, turn up. I know a lot of golfers would have probably cancelled but played because it was the team element. But yes, this round was a round of firsts, Rhino.
It was a round of firsts. And can I just say, for anyone who pulled out, weak as piss. Like,
yeah, pretty ordinary.
It was very, very ordinary.
Like the morning conditions were... They were testing, but the guys that played in the afternoon, they got the best of it.
Yeah.
I don't actually think there was any rain from about 1 o'clock onwards. It was perfect.
Magic, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I know how much you love your research. You spend your Saturday nights on the computer researching things, and you hinted at it just then. It's a round of firsts.
It
Please,
was. So,
stage is yours.
Rhino, first win of the year for the Goblins.
Yes, that's what we like to hear.
Preempting into the video that the Goblins got over the line. It was the first time a team has scored in the 150s as a team. A new low. The first time 21 was a counted score for a team. First time we've run Survivor event. And what an upset that was. First time a team has failed to fill the minimum number of players in the 3 years we've been going. First time a fill-in player has won the Travis Matthews shirt. First time a full team hasn't had a score in the 30s. And the first time we've had a broken phone.
Well, there is so much to digest out of this.
There is a lot of firsts this week.
Just when you start to come to the good stuff, there's another one that just blows my mind away. It's incredible.
Yes,
yeah.
That's the interesting story to that. We would not divulge the person involved, but anyway, we'll set the story and we'll get into that a little bit later on.
Looking forward to hearing about it, Milne. Should we get
straight into
the action? Round 8 action. First game we're going to have a bit of a review of is the Pirates versus the Bullies. The Pirates 199 to 187 winners.
Yes, the Pirates. This is obviously another replay of last year's grand final, and the Pirates have got it over the Bullies now. Pirates had 10 players, the Bullies had 8. And the Pirates win the golf balls again. The Callaway golf balls is the highest scoring team for the round. 3rd time this season for the Pirates. So they're getting their money's worth in their free golf balls. But the arguably match of the round, second played 3rd. The AM scores were pretty even throughout the morning. But then when Darren Heaton came in the afternoon with 38 and Lynn Kirby with 33, Chairman Scuba Hub 33, it was all over. We had for the Bullies, Richard West had 33, Ross Morland 33, Judy Said 31, Kev Hudson 31, Jen Edmondson 30, and then Phil Stevens and Johnny Wooten 29. But the Pirates, way too strong. Their bottom low scorer of counting scores was the McMuffin. Leroy had 30. Oof. Manny Golfers 32, the Chairman Scuba Hub had 33, Dennis Wood 33, as I said, Lynn Kirby 33, and Darren Heaton was the star with a 38. Actually looked at the timesheet, moved from the morning into the afternoon, just looking for those better conditions. But yeah, Richard West tried his best, 33. He came in after the round and said, and I probably quote him, I might have got the words a little different, but he played with 2 Pirates today on the course, and he said it was like spending 4 hours next to 2 Collingwood supporters when they were playing. He said it was pure hell.
Sounds like it, mate. just listening to those scores that you were reading out, there seems to be a lot of Arvo plays in that Pirates side, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, it was pretty even. So Heaton, Kirby, Scuba Hub and Golfers were all afternoon, and then Leroy and Dennis were in the morning, and similarly with the Bullies, most of their scores actually come from the morning, which is, yeah, their afternoon players didn't perform. 12-point margin, probably no really near misses that could affect the results. Pirates move to the top of the ladder now, and the Bullies slip out of the 4.
It is a big result for the Bullies, isn't it? Because they win that and they're well entrenched inside the top 4, and now they're battling to get back in it.
Yeah, they are half a game outside the 4. In our under-25s, the Bullies didn't have any under 25. But for the Pirates, Dave Newman, 23, played in the morning, came in after 9 holes, only had 9 points and was contemplating walking off.
His future.
But yeah, we said, look, mate, you need to make sure that you've got more than the minimum 6 players playing, so soldier on. He did, 14 on his last 9, but yeah, it didn't count, but well done, Dave, on your ticker.
Absolutely, Milne. You do mention that morning session. It was tough out there.
Yeah.
It was wet and wintry and a proper grind.
Yeah, well, only the strong ones play in the morning.
Exactly right, mate. Looking towards the second game of the weekend, the Tornadoes 193 winners over the Warriors 155.
Yes.
The first of the 150 scores coming in here.
Exactly. It was an annihilation. The Tornadoes had 10 and the Warriors, they had the bare minimum 6. So for the Tornadoes, they were led by the ladies, Fiona Newman and Norma Vogel on 34, Yvette Pollock 33, Scotty Hopgood 32, Toot Madden 31, and Biscuits Arnott had 29, while the Warriors, led by the ladies again, Marg Maskell 29, Josh Bowen 28, Noel Pike 26, with Cam O'Keefe 26, Ray Lininger 24, and the 203-year-old DeFazio, he had 22. Counted score, but you should be ashamed of yourselves, all you golfers that pulled out. Someone at Pete's age got out there in the morning and played and stuck it out.
Broke his age for another
did.
week, which is just quite incredible. I do have a question for you, though. You did mention Biscuits, 29 points.
Mm-hmm.
If I said I saw him driving his golf cart to between the 8th tee box and the 7th green, what hole do you reckon he'd be playing?
Oh, you would normally think he'd probably be playing the 7th, because he might have missed the green to the right, kicked off the bank and headed towards the tee there. 4th tee, for him being a lefty, it'll be a big slice, but that's a big slice to get over there.
Possible.
Possible.
Where do you reckon in the realms of possibilities it would be if I said he was playing the 6th off the tee?
Yeah, big slice again, but then to get the height, he's a big, strong hitter.
He's a big boy.
Long hitter, so it's pretty short distance that it's travelled, so I'm assuming it's probably hit something.
Yeah, very, very loud bang, followed by a lot of expletives, probably from people sort of circling that area who didn't realise the ball was going that way. I'm guessing it's a bin, would be my guess.
Probably wanted to go back to work, seeing he's at Garbo, so he likes the bins.
Might have to pick one up on the way home just to replace the hole that he probably
put into that one. But yeah, he's a strong man, Biscuits, very strong. But what do we say on this game? The women's starred, massive win, 155. Really, that's the lowest score we've seen in our current format of Premier League. But I suppose they're lucky that normally they would have collected probably the kicked out of the Survivor Series event that starts up now as having the lowest score. But no, they live to fight another day due to another team's ineptness.
Absolutely. You do mention there the big margin, huge for percentage too, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Just looking at that ladder, I know we're going to get to a little bit later in the show, but big percentage boost there.
It was, yeah. And when you say about those bad shots, Rhino, we've got a photo here of Toot Madden. They're on the 8th.
Yes.
Obviously had a very long drive there on the 8th, and as we can see where he's playing that from. Lucky not to actually have a shout of round of drinks there as well, looking at the team markers.
It trickled, didn't it? It would have just trickled.
Would have trickled, yeah. I think he said it was similar to how he used to play cricket back in the day.
Well, I couldn't get it off the centre wicket either, so I feel your pain, Stu. There you go. Let's get across before we. I've had enough of talking about my cricket ability, mate, so we should get to this third game. Yeah, 100%. The Peakers 185 versus the Hookers 182. One of the close games of the weekend.
The close game. Peakers only had 7 players, while the Hookers had 9. For the Peakers, Brian Bell 35, Murray Wiley 33, Digger James 31, the Flange, Ian Flanders 31,
wow.
Lloyd Shepherd 29, and Johnny Leading 26. While for the Hookers, the big strong plumber, Mickey McNeil, 34, Billy Adams, 32, Malesy, 31, Pete Vogel returned to the score list with 31, while Dave Hutton, 28, and Richie Howes and Choco Royal had a 26, which was a counted score. But was the closest game of the round, with only the 3 points separating. Match was evenly poised all through the day, until Belly come in with the 35. That was enough to get those Peakers over the line. where did the hookers blow it, lose it?
That's what we want to know. That's what I want to know. What happened?
So of the guys that scores counted, Marlsey, 3 wipes on the back 9. Bill Adams, 1 point on his last 2 holes. Peter Vogel, the triangle, 1-2-1. Dave Hutton, 3 wipes on his first 9 and only had 9 points on his first 9 holes. Choco Royal, 10 points on her last 9 holes. Her Royal Highness, Jill Barker, as we can see here, got a nice little jumper made up for the Premier League there. Looked fantastic, but it obviously didn't improve her golf. She only had 24 for one of the premier players of Premier League.
She's got to be careful where she wears that. People might think it's advertising.
Yeah. You never know. I know. Didn't think of that. But yeah, she was only 24, which is pretty poor for her. Under 25s for the Peakers. Soupy on 23. And then obviously for the hookers, Jill Barker. There was an honourable mention for Matt Davies, pennant player, only scored 25, but yes, he was a little bit disappointed with his performance. And then that win moves the Peakers ominously into 3rd place on the ladder there, Rhino.
Absolutely, keeping the heat on those top 2 sides. They've still got a bit of ground to make up, but certainly keeps them in contention.
It does, yes, it does. They're a little dark horse this year.
Now, we're going to go to the last game of the round, the one that I've been waiting for because I can't wait for you.
This is your team,
This
Rhino.
is my team. I've been waiting, 8 weeks, 2 months we've been waiting.
And did I call this last week that you would take him down?
You did. You called it on this show. Very much so, mate.
The Oracle is back.
The Oracle's back. You got it wrong the week before when you thought we'd get the upset there, but you're right this time.
Yeah.
So, congratulations for you to calling it. I don't know if you had any inside mail that maybe the Crusaders were soft, they had a little soft underbelly or something like that.
I'm not sure whether them being at the top of the ladder has made them a little complacent, or they don't like getting down and dirty, or it's nice and warm up the top of the ladder and they don't need to go outside their comfort zone. I'm not sure, but yes, the Crusaders unfortunately only had 4 players play, which is I suppose you want to call it an automatic forfeit there, because you do need to get 6 players on the course to put in a score. So they only had the 4, and one of those 4 was a fill-in as well.
That is very bad.
But the Goblins, you guys only had 7.
Correct, we just fell in, but that's okay.
Just fell in. That's all you needed to do.
All you need is to get past the number 6. Just quickly, 174 to 154. For those people who may not be rules exactly, can you just run us through exactly what happens in this situation when you've got a bunch of P-hearts who don't decide to play?
So if a team doesn't meet the 6 players required to constitute a score, that team will be given 1 point lower than the lowest scoring team for the round, which ensures that the team that doesn't have enough players loses the match, but it doesn't affect their percentage too drastically. So with the Warriors on 155, that means the Crusaders score 154. They obviously lose the game against the Goblins, but then they also are eliminated from the Survivor competition that's just started. So Warriors live to fight another day with that, and the Crusaders, who were top of the ladder, are knocked out first week of Survivor.
And the Goblins are celebrating.
Yeah, so the Goblins, 174, Justin McGrath, 35, Max Edmondson, 34, Steve Evans, 33, yourself, 27, counted score again.
Counted score, we love him in the 20s.
The Buzz, 24, counted, and Rick Edmondson counted on 21, the Rico.
Can I just say, Buzz and I were playing a side play match on Saturday. He was 5 up against me, and we ended up drawing it. He lost his last 3 holes in our little side match play, just to keep things interesting.
Geez, lucky you guys got over the line then.
Yeah, when those prospects of 30 points, not making 30 points is out the window, you've got to try and find some way to make yourself competitive.
Yeah, that's no good for you, Buzz. Very disappointing. Crusaders, the 4 players that played, Cliff McCorkle, 25, Snags Finnemore, 28, Chris James, 32, and our fill-in player, Dean Jeffrey, 39 points for Dino, and he wins the Travis Matthew Polo this week. But just before we get to Dino, we have got a video of Dean, just as a thank you to the Crusaders there, which we'll get to in a sec. But this match was over at 11:24 on Saturday.
Yep.
The Crusaders still had 6 players on the timesheet, but then Jeanette Johnson and Jan Cogger withdrew. They were due to hit off after 12. 11:24, names disappeared, which then obviously made the Crusaders not enough players. And how filthy would they be seeing the weather turned out to be perfect for 100%. Them? So,
can I just ask a quick question of you, Matthew? When they called up the pro shop to pull out, who took the call? Was it you or Maxi?
No, I left the timesheet open so they could withdraw online, so they did it themselves. So
I was just interested whether Maxi gleefully withdrew them, given his Goblins connection, knowing that they got down to the floor.
We were watching it, but yeah, they just disappeared, and Max was quite happy there. So the Crusaders, we can give a couple of excuses.
Yep.
The Milkman at Crown. He's had a bad day, the Milkman.
Hasn't he?
He's filthy that the Crusaders didn't field a team. His Bombers got torched.
Yep.
He's organised a replacement. Dino has 39, so he's obviously done his job there, even though he wasn't there. Bobby Gibbs was at Murray Downs, so he obviously was out of town. Johnny Rowe was in hospital. He might be home now. He's on the mend, but yeah, so he could be excused. But yeah, the PM players who withdrew because of the weather wouldn't be feeling great now. Jeanette Johnson hadn't missed a game all year until yesterday. Jan Cogger, Nina Ibbotson, Stan Maskell withdrew. Stan, your wife played in the morning in the worst conditions. You have a cart and you're still pulled out. Well done, Meadow Lee. But the biggest one was the Drayton medalist, Peter O'Neill.
No way.
He
pulled out?
Pulled out. He came to the club, always goes to the range to hit balls before golf, went to the range, sat in his car, then didn't hit any, came to the pro shop, cancelled, was due to hit off at around 11:30, quarter to 12, said the weather was going to be too bad, but there we saw you, Pete. You've been walking around the club, beating your chest, how you're going to go back to back in the Drayton, and you're the linchpin of the Crusaders, and you're the man. You had your chance to step up, show your backbone, but what did you do? You slinked away in the drizzle, got into your BMW, and you drove away, potentially watching the Crusaders' premiership aspirations go with it. Pete, I'm going to pass along to Dean Jeffrey here with his video. This is was set at Saturday night. He sent this through to me. I suppose with his disappointment of the Crusaders lineup. Rhino, have a look at this.
All right, g'day Premier Leaguers. I'd like to thank the Milkman Jolie for putting me in for this week. I found out Wednesday that he was going to put me up against my good mate Max. So from then on, I was dedicated to get the win for the team. Rocked up today and no team members. I had 4 team members, automatically got disqualified, so I was down in the dumps, but I was willing to beat Max, which I did, and I got a free t-shirt. Thanks for that, Jolie. And yeah, hopefully the Crusaders can do something again next week.
Fantastic stuff there, wasn't it?
Oh, Dino.
That's what we want from Dino. Just a little slap for the team on the way out. He's got his Travis Matthews shirt, so he's paid for himself 10 times.
I said to Dino, I said, send something to me, but don't go too hard on the expletives. And he was very reserved in what he's normally like. But yeah, it's a massive win for the Goblins, though. Gitches with a win on the charge to the finals.
Geez, you'd love to see Pete O'Neill lose by a vote, wouldn't you?
Oh, because he didn't turn up and play.
because he didn't turn up and play against just the whipping boys of the competition.
Yeah.
Well. Could be the fire starter for us, Bill. I'm feeling it. Like Steve Evans is up having 30+ points, and I feel like things are gonna come up Millhouse for the Goblins in the second half of the year.
It could be the start of it, and hopefully it's not the demise of the Crusaders. But just goes to show for golfers who are playing that it is important to turn up and play, just to give your team the best chance of having a win and progressing through to the finals.
Should we have a quick look at the ladder?
Yes, it's big movement with the ladder. Obviously, Crusaders have been replaced there by the Pirates at the top. Peakers have moved into the 3rd, while, as we said, the Bullies are half a game behind the Tornadoes there. Hookers, are they losing too much ground?
Slowly. They're starting to. Absolutely, they are. Yeah. 3
games out of the top 4 with 6 rounds to go. Hookers, Goblins, Warriors. I think your team and the Warriors need to nearly win the last probably nearly every game coming in, don't you?
I think you need to win every game coming in if you're in that bottom two, and potentially hope for some other results to go your way.
Yeah. So I think this round's will also have a bit of an influence on how that ladder's going to shape as well for round 9.
Absolutely. Should we get stuck into round 9 then?
Let's go for it.
Let's have a look at the first game for the week. The Warriors and the Peakers.
Warriors and Peakers. Warriors 7th, Peakers 3rd. Danger match for the Peakers here. A win will cement their place in the top 4, while a loss could see them drop to 5th. Warriors definitely need the win to keep the final chances alive. Last time they met, the Warriors had an 8-point win with the young guns of Josh Bowen and Cam O'Keefe top scoring. How the mighty have fallen with those two. They've been shocking lately. While Brian Bell and Yvonne Casey top scored for the Peakers. Recent form, you'd have to go with the Peakers here. Have had a draw and 2 wins in their last 3, while the Warriors have lost their last 3. Peakers I think might be too consistent, and they might have more players on the course, and the Peakers got too much to play for, I reckon.
I think that's a pretty good summation. Next round, we should be looking at the Pirates and the Goblins. Again, for the second week in the row, the Goblins are playing the top side.
Top team.
So,
intriguing match.
Making it tough, yeah.
First versus last, as per last week. Pirates just love the Premier League.
They do, don't they?
Darren Heaton is the most passionate one, probably behind the chairman, Scuba Hub, and probably Flanders. That's the top 3 nuffies of Premier League.
Yep.
Early in the season, the Pirates won 201 to 181. Massive win to them that day. Sue Gregory and Dennis Wood and Miraz Heaton were the top scorers for the Pirates, while Tyrrell Edmondson and Shirley Bell top scored for the Goblins. Pirates are so consistent from their top 6. While the Goblins, you're relying on too few. Has last week's win given you guys a new lease of life? Pirates will need the top 6 firing. They will be missing Sue Gregory still, who's been the surprise packet for the Pirates. Still out with a foot injury. Johnny Powell's overseas. He's no loss though. David Newman's travelling.
Okay.
So there'll be 3 short straight up. And you guys look close to full strength.
Yes, I think we should be pretty close to full strength. Are you predicting any chance of an
Well,
upset coming in a row?
I reckon there could be. As I said earlier in the video, we had a bit of an incident on the course on Saturday where probably someone in this match is part of it, where they were playing poorly by everyone else's standard, but were probably playing to their normal standards. Hit a drive off a hole and actually hit a really good drive, and then just as a bit of fun decided to throw their driver towards their golf buggy. As the driver's flying through the air, he's heading for his playing partner's golf buggy.
No.
Driver hits the buggy, snaps in half, then the remnants of the driver goes and hits the person's phone that's sitting in the holder, falls to the ground, smashes the phone.
It's like $3,000 worth of damage in 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds, and his face just dropped. He was shattered. He wanted to keep it quiet. We're not going to mention it. As I said, his form was ordinary. As you can probably see from this drive on the first hole here from this golfer, that maybe this gives a little bit of an idea of who it might have been.
Not so anonymous now.
Not so anonymous. I'm not naming it, but people can sort of pick up on what they think. But hopefully he has fired him up and got him ready to perform this week.
Absolutely. We want to see the fire in the belly.
Yes, bit of fire in the belly, Tyrrell, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or Tyrrell Senior.
I was going to say Tyrrell Senior. Absolutely. That's that might be one of the most amazing things I've heard in Premier League history.
We all get the frustration, and it was all done in jest, mucking around, but it backfired big time.
New driver coming the way of Rick Edmondson, I'm guessing.
I'm not naming any words. Naming any names there, Ryan?
No worries. On that note, let's go across.
He's your teammate too.
On your Rick. The Bullies and the Tornadoes. This is a fascinating one because it's going to have top 4 implications.
Yeah, Tornadoes sitting 4th, Bullies 5th. As you said, massive consequences. Loss for the Bullies could see them drop 2 games out of the top 4 and finals chances slipping away. Last time they met, it was 2 points, with the Bullies getting over the line 195 to 193. Interestingly though, when they did meet last time, the 2 top scorers were fill-in players for the Bullies, Ange Foote and Ian Francis. So they obviously won't be there this week. While Toot Toot Madden and Bernie Reid top scored for the Tornadoes. Recent form is Tornadoes' way, with them on a 3-game winning streak, while the Bullies have only won 1 of their last 4. Bullies need some improvement from all their players, really. Probably exclude Ross Morland, Richie West and Stu Anderson when he turns up, because he didn't play Saturday. While the Tornadoes will be missing the linchpin, their regular high top scorer, Fiona Newman. So she's missing, so that's a big out for them. Yeah. The Tornadoes probably need something from the supposed gun of their team, Andrew Wooten. God, he talks himself up, talks a big game, but massive disappointment for his team. Probably a bit like your favourite Cats player, Reece Stanley. So much hype and potential, but provides donuts.
Donuts. At least Andrew shows up. Reece Stanley can't even get a game at the moment, which is bloody great to see, I must say. He wouldn't have played on Saturday, Reece Stanley.
You don't reckon?
Oh, no.
He plays in tough conditions. He's out there in the...
He would have been curled up on his couch in his hoodie and...
Yeah, well, I think Ando was thinking of doing that too. But yeah, the Tornadoes need Ando to give them something, because he hasn't really provided too much the last couple of seasons.
It's incredible how close these two teams are, though. I mean, you look at their scores for and against: 157, Tornadoes 4, Bullies 1565, and then 4 points in the against column separates them. So, I mean, they're very hard to split.
That's 1% difference on the ladder. So, and obviously half a game difference there. So a win for the Bullies could really put them up and drop the Tornadoes down. So
which way are you going to lean?
I would not. Earlier in the season, it would have been Bullies, but I think the Tornadoes might be too strong with Andrew Wooten to star.
Fantastic. He's going to bounce back after that little slap that you just gave him.
Hopefully he does. Get out and do some practice, Ando.
Crusaders and the Hookers, the last game of the round that we need to have a look at.
Crusaders 2nd, the Hookers 6th. They wouldn't want to drop this one, the Crusaders, after dropping the last 2. Although they're safe in the top 4, sitting 2 games clear of 5th, they still need to move forward with another victory. Hookers will be hungry and want to atone for their 7-point loss to them in round 2. Last time they met, Peter O'Neill, Nina Ibbotson top scored for the Crusaders, while the Hookers were led by Choco Royal and Neil Ryan. I expect all the Crusaders to turn up this week and try and make amends for last week's debacle. Hookers' loss could see their season done, and I think their players have probably got too much pride for that. I can't highlight anyone from the Crusaders who needs to lift, because I'm still flummoxed of what happened on Saturday, because they've been so consistent. But for the Hookers, these players need to lift. Ken Hughes, Jill Barker, Choco Royal, David Hutton, Peter Vogel, Ken Latter, Neil Ryan, Richie Howes, Bill Adams, Matt Miles, Mickey McNeil, Jeff Evans and Matt Davies.
Is that
you
everyone?
all need to perform. All 13 of you.
I was going to say, I was trying to think of the odd one out there.
No, they all need to do something. Ken Latter's going to be back from Port Douglas. He's been sunning himself, so he should be primed and ready to go. Jeff Evans, the weather's probably going to be all right, so just because it's a little bit rainy, you can still come. But yeah, I think those guys there, if they can come to the party, they could give the Crusaders a run.
You did mention the Crusaders and who needed to lift. They just need to show up rather than lift.
They just got to turn up on the course.
Yeah,
exactly.
They tee it up and get down there and play.
Yeah, so you got to go to the Crusaders. I can't go against them, unfortunately.
Expecting them to bounce back
big time.
The public shaming that they've copped from us too this week.
They have, yeah. So just a reminder, just as we finish up, Rhino, if you do require a fill-in player, it does obviously require a donation towards Feed Me Bellarine. With the money, you can either give it to myself or Hazy. If you haven't paid yet, please come and see us and do so. I don't want to have to embarrass you and ask you for your cash for your fill-in player. We do need to know by Tuesday if you do require one. Ian Francis has spoken to me. He's actually available this week if someone wants a fill-in. He's probably been one of our best performed fill-in players this season. So,
handy addition to any team.
If you do need someone, let us know. But yeah, that could be the difference between your team winning or losing.
Can we pay into your tab account? Is that the...
No, cash to the Feed Me Bellarine.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
So we have had one person donate on the Feed Me Bellarine website themselves personally, but no, just give it to myself or Hazy, and then we'll pass on at the end of the season to Feed Me Bellarine.
Speaking of Hazy, this is going to be my last show for the foreseeable future, unfortunately.
Yeah, the big man's back next week.
The big man is back, Giggles. We'll just give him a little love. He's been sunning himself in Fiji to finish off his Canadian
sojourn. Well, we did get a little bit of photo footage of the Hayes man that you sent through to us. Yeah. Geez, the Canadian water must be good.
Doesn't it?
I think we need to go.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Have a look at the before and after of when he went in and then when he come out of the water.
Incredible.
Mate, I think we need to get over there too.
Well, I tell you what, if they can do that to Hazy, what's it going to do to us? Because Hazy's got a rather large pair of slacks compared to us, so we'd look bloody chiseled.
Yeah, we would look good. I actually had one of the lady members watch the video. A partner of a player last week, and she can't believe she was looking for the other Ryan Reynolds.
Oh no!
From the Hugh Jackman interview, she goes, "That's not just Ryan Reynolds. Jeez, he's aged."
As if you get Ryan Reynolds off Wish, mate. That's a fat and balding one.
Yeah, but yep. So thank you to you for your hosting duties. Thanks to the Flange. Thanks to Mirrors. With the return of Hazy, I reckon we could see the return of the Recometer next week as well. Beware, anyone's targeted to perform. Everyone's under scrutiny, so if you don't want to be in the Recometer next week, you need to perform.
Looking forward to seeing Hazy back. Looking forward to the first Recometer back.
It's going to be good.
I feel like Hazy's going to come back loaded, refreshed, and ready to go.
He has been watching the videos and keeping a tab, so we'll definitely be getting something out there of be wary, because we have got a few in the gun.
Absolutely. Thanks also to our sponsors.
Yes, thank you to Luke Campbell and Neville Richards for their obviously continued partnership for this event. To Callaway Golf, again the Pirates are the winners of the balls, and then to Travis Matthew with Dean Jeffrey collecting that polo. So if a fill-in player can do it, anyone can. Thank you, my friend. Thank you to CUB for our refreshments. And we'll be back at the club next week rather than off-site.
In your chateau, your palace, the Milne Palace in Kaluas.
Yeah, nice and warm too. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for your time.